They walked into court thinking they had the perfect excuse, but within seconds, the judge saw right through every lie, every manipulation, and every desperate attempt to dodge responsibility. From fake stories to shocking outbursts, these 8 parents learned the hard way. You do not outsmart the courtroom.
Okay, Amelia Shaw, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
So our daughter has been living with me for 2 years. We're separated, and she's currently not paying any child support. And
All right, guys, this case wastes no time getting to the pressure point. We've got a custodial parent saying the child has been living with him for 2 years, and despite that, he's getting no support at all. That instantly raises the question the court is about to answer. When a child's day-to-day life is clearly rooted with one parent, can the other parent still dodge responsibility just because they don't like the arrangement? This one is already setting up a hard legal reality.
like, I thought maybe she would grow up, but I guess it's time to force her hand, so.
Okay. Any reason why you're not paying child support?
She makes a lot more money than I do.
Okay. Is that your only reason?
Mm-hmm.
You know it doesn't really work like that, right?
And here comes the defense. She says he makes more money, almost like that should cancel out her obligation. But child support does not work like a popularity contest or comparison game. The court is not deciding who wanted the child more or who earned slightly better. It's deciding who has the legal duty to contribute. That is where a lot of people get tripped up in family court, and the judge shuts that misunderstanding down almost immediately.
Well, I spend a lot of time, I'm trying to build my career. I'm a hairstylist.
Okay.
So
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I travel a lot. I don't have a lot of extra money.
When she says she travels a lot, she's at music festivals like every other weekend.
Every other weekend is a bit excessive.
It's networking. I'm trying to do hair for bands.
Let me ask you a question. How much are these trips costing you every other weekend?
This is where the case turns from excuse to credibility test. Once travel, festivals, and discretionary spending enter the conversation, the issue is no longer just, I'm short on money. It becomes, what are your priorities? That hits differently, because the judge is now looking beyond words and into behavior. If someone has funds for frequent lifestyle choices but claims there's nothing left for their child, viewers are naturally going to ask, is this really hardship, or is this avoidance dressed up as independence?
Because I gave birth to the...
I don't even understand what's going on right now. What do you mean that it's kind of more on her? It's your child too.
She wanted it more.
But you wanted it too, right?
Yeah, you were on board with this.
I was.
So you're going to still be on board with paying child support then? Because it's still your child. You don't get to pick and choose when you want to be a parent. It doesn't work like that. If you can spend $2,000 a month to go to music festivals, you can definitely pay her child support. And if you're out of town every other weekend, how are you seeing that child as much as you proclaim? That doesn't make sense.
I FaceTime.
She's drunk when she FaceTimes. Half the time I can't hand the phone over.
Indulge from time to time.
Right, and I am not buying anything that you're over there talking about. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get straight into the child support, and you are going to pay, okay? And I know you have the money, because according to your tax returns here, you make about $800 a week, right? Okay, so I have your gross at about $3,200 a month. So you can afford to pay child support because you're spending $2,000 of that to go out of town, and that's based on what you said. That's not based on any calculation yet. Okay? All right? How many children?
Now the judge moves into the most dangerous zone for any weak argument: documents. Once tax returns and weekly income are on the table, opinion stops mattering as much as proof. This is the moment the case becomes less emotional and more mathematical. The judge is basically saying, you may not like this obligation, but your own financial records are telling a different story. And in support court, numbers often speak louder than excuses ever can.
Just one.
Just one child? Okay. So I have your net at $2,474.58. Who pays health insurance?
We have Medicaid.
Medicaid? Okay. So Medicaid has to be reimbursed to the state because that is a state benefit. So you are the one who is going to reimburse that money to the state. So what I have to do is take 9% of your gross, and that'll give me the health insurance amount that you'll reimburse to Medicaid. Comes out to $288. So when you add that to your monthly child support obligation of $494.92, that gets $782.92.
A month?
Yeah. You spend $2,000 a month, right? Yeah.
Here's the part many viewers never fully understand, and it's exactly why this ruling feels so important. The judge is not randomly throwing out a number. She is walking through net income, insurance reimbursement, and the actual monthly support obligations step by step. That makes the ruling harder to argue with because it shows the structure behind the outcome. It also reminds everyone watching that child support orders are usually built on formula, not emotion, even when the emotions in the room are running hot.
Yeah, exactly. So you can afford it.
I think one music festival a month is enough.
And maybe you should take your daughter with you to the music festival.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Oh.
I don't trust that.
Oh. Well, you know, now that she's paying child support, you really can't dictate what she does on her weekends. It's kind of how it works.
Mm-hmm. I just don't think that's a safe environment for a 3-year-old to be in.
It may not be, but until something actually happens, you can't dictate that. You wanted child support, you gave rights. You pretty much gave birth to a visitation rights. You understand?
Yeah.
And child support and custody are completely different. So that doesn't mean at any point, if she stops paying, that you can start denying her access to the child. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
You all understand? Okay, anything further?
No, ma'am.
Anything further from you? Okay, if there's nothing further.
And there it is, the clean legal takeaway. The parent the child lives with is the one who receives support, and the non-custodial parent is the one expected to pay it. Simple, direct, and impossible to misunderstand once the judge says it that plainly. So in the end, this wasn't really about who felt more burdened, it was about where the child lives and who must contribute. Do you think the judge got it exactly right? If this case had you talking, drop your thoughts below, and stay tuned for more real courtroom drama.
Saying it correct?
Yes.
Okay, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Where do I start?
At the beginning?
Okay. Well, cut to the election. The Great White Hope gets elected. I thought our household would be happy about it. I find out I'm married to a libtard. And she starts going off the handle, and like eventually she's just partying and doing all this nonsense and gets on H.
Brace yourselves, because this case feels messy from the very first seconds. A father comes in seeking support, but instead of a calm explanation, you can already sense that this hearing is carrying years of resentment, chaos, and bad blood. The energy is unstable, and that matters, because in court, the facts are important, but so is how those facts are delivered. Right away, it feels like this case could spin out emotionally before the legal issues are even fully sorted.
Smack, like a loser, and goes off the rails, leaves me, we got 2 kids, 2 and 5-year-olds, and just leaves me to take care of these kids. So okay, I'm like, okay, fine.
Okay, so now we're getting into the important part of your story.
What do you mean? I'm giving you backstory. Isn't that what you're here? Don't you need context?
Yeah, but all the name calling and
Name calling?
jabs.
I'm just telling you. I'm giving you.
When accusations of addiction, abandonment, and leaving children behind hit the record, the emotional stakes explode. These are not minor complaints. These are allegations that reshape how the audience views parental responsibility. But here's the challenge. In court, even devastating claims still need grounding. So while the father's anger may feel justified, the judge still has to separate what is painful from what is provable. That distinction often decides whether outrage becomes an order or just remains a story.
This idiot needs to go to.
Okay, you refer to her by her name. What is your name?
Martha.
You will refer to her as Martha.
Martha.
She will not be a
heroin problem,
whatever you said, and
I
an idiot.
took her to rehab, which cost $20,000.
Okay.
That was all of our savings, all of our money. It's supposed to be the kids' college fund, but I figure the kids aren't going to go to college if they have a mom on heroin. Pretty bad example. So let's get it
But
situated.
she got the help, right?
Yeah, she got the help.
Okay, so
she
that's
joined
what's
the cult.
important.
She drank the Kool-Aid. She stayed longer than her stint. Met some guy named, what's his name, Paul?
The rehab money revelation adds another layer of tragedy to this case. If family savings were drained trying to save one parent while the children still needed stability, that creates a powerful conflict between compassion and consequence. On one hand, getting help matters. On the other, the children's needs never pause while adults are unraveling. That's what makes this moment sting. You can feel the father saying he paid a huge emotional and financial price, and now he wants the court to finally recognize it.
Met Paul, you know, the globe-trotting Paul. What was Paul into, huh? Meth? Whatever. They're clean and sober together. She comes back, you know, after spending an extra
Mr.
couple...
Malkovich,
What?
excuse me.
Yes, I mean...
Did you come
always
here to waste
interrupt
my time?
everyone
Well,
who's
what
in
is it
court?
that you want me to do?
Oh, okay. She's now got her life together. Her and Paul got a little apartment. I let her see the kids every now and then, you know, make sure that, you know, I'd leave them unsupervised sometimes. Not to mention, then when I do that, she's on Instagram with these weird friends, they're rehab people, introducing them to our kids. But anyway, I want money. She works now. She works out. Like, she didn't even work out when we were dating. Now she's gonna keep it tight for Paul.
So you're mad about that?
But yeah, who wouldn't be? I spent all my money in just to fund a heroin addiction, and now she comes back and she's all, Joey got her life together, and I'm like, well, okay, you know, I'm a good guy about it. She can see the kids, you can take them to Brahms, all that kind of nonsense, but you know, if she's gonna participate in their lives, I need a little bit of cash.
Ma'am, I just want
Okay.
to see my babies.
Now the frustration sharpens into a very specific claim. If she is working, if she is active, if she is showing signs of rebuilding her life, then why should he still be carrying the financial burden alone? That question is emotionally potent because it mixes resentment with fairness. Viewers may hear bitterness in his tone, but they also hear a legal point forming underneath it. If the children live with him and she has income, support should not be optional just because the history is ugly.
I was just getting ready to cut him off and move to you. Martha, you just want to see your children?
Yes, please.
Okay, and do the children live with him? That's a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the way that it works is if the children live with him, you are supposed to be paying him some sort of money for the kids. I mean, even though he's a little, you know, out
What?
there, he still is entitled to receive child support for the support of the children.
I don't mind that. I don't make very much, but
Okay.
I would really just.
This is the judge cutting through the noise and recentering the law. If the children live with him, then yes, she may owe child support, full stop. That moment is crucial because it strips away all the side drama and reminds everyone what the case is actually about. Family court can feel chaotic when people bring in old wounds, but the judge is narrowing it back to residence, obligation, and support. That legal clarity is often the only thing holding a hearing together.
There's a waitress at Denny's.
Excuse me.
I'm just telling you.
Excuse me. Did she cut you off while you were giving that elaborate story?
I mean, she hardly knows how to speak English. How's she gonna cut me off?
No. Did she cut you off?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Now, Martha, how much money do you make?
26,000 with tips a
Okay.
year.
You're laughing at that, but you're in this courtroom asking for her to pay you child support.
It's either that or just leave me and the kids and let us live our lives and just stay out. You know, they don't need
No,
they don't need
and
an
that's not
addict as a
healthy.
mother to be constantly.
Do you want me to help you get child support? Because if not, we can stop this today.
Yes.
And
Sorry.
you can come back another day when you're.
Miss
mean-
another day of work.
Once income comes under scrutiny, the case shifts again. The judge is no longer just listening to backstory. She's testing credibility in real time. How much do you earn? Can you prove it? Are you stable enough to be trusted financially and personally? Moments like this are where viewers start asking themselves whether the person in front of the bench is truly rebuilding or simply reacting to pressure. And when the judge senses inconsistency, the whole mood of the ruling can change.
I don't want to see him anymore.
I think she should have some unsupervised access, considering
like-
that she's gotten her stuff together.
Well, how does that work? I mean, because who decides that? Like, can the first one be with another third party that comes?
I don't think that's necessary.
You're suggesting that I leave my children alone with her, right? Like, she could go to a park and there's some dude peddling H, and then all of a sudden she's passed out in the gutter and one of my kids is getting hit by a car. Like,
Okay,
it's
I'm going to stop you right
unfathomable.
there. I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
And this is what we're going to do.
What are we gonna do?
What you're going to do, first of all, is get your foot. What are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm listening to you. Go
You
on.
have a cigarette in your mouth. There is no smoking in this
Why
building.
would you be smoking in there?
No, there
What,
is
you
no
want
smoking. Wait, bailiff, before he leaves, I need you to know this. We're going to reset your case because obviously you have a lot going on. So when you're ready to conduct yourself in a way that's appropriate for this courtroom, then you come back and ask me for some relief.
So you want me to come back and
No,
miss
what I
another
want you
day
to
of
do,
work?
what I want you to do is be quiet, listen to what I said, and get out of my courtroom.
This is a kangaroo court.
Well, thank
This is
you.
absurd.
Thank you. This is what we're going to do, Martha. We are going to reset your case to a later date. Just make sure when you come back, you have your financial documents with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And this is exactly why the title fits, Don't Try the Judge. Once courtroom behavior collapses into disrespect and disruption, the legal strength of your case can collapse with it. Lighting a cigarette, pushing boundaries, and refusing to read the room does not make someone look wronged. It makes them look out of control. In the end, the reset becomes the real lesson, no matter how strong your complaints may be. If you sabotage your own hearing, you may leave with no relief at all. Who lost this case more? The other parent, or the person who couldn't control himself in court? Let me know below and follow for more unforgettable courtroom moments.
Well, we had been together for a really long time. About 4 years ago, we decided to adopt a child, and she broke up with me about 4 years ago. About 2 years ago, and stopped paying child support. And so I have had all the responsibility of our daughter, and
This case opens with a quiet but powerful accusation. One parent says they've been left carrying the entire weight of raising the child after a breakup, and support has fallen away with it. That alone would be enough tension. But what makes this hearing especially sharp is the suggestion that the paying parent didn't just stop helping. They may have strategically lowered their earning power to reduce what they owe. If that is true, this is no ordinary support dispute. It's a case about manipulation.
she barely comes
Ma'am.
around.
That's really not.
Ma'am, let her finish. You will have your opportunity to speak.
Okay,
Okay. I can roll my eyes too. Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
She never sees our daughter, and recently she just changed jobs. She was making a lot of money, and she just dropped jobs so that, because right when I started talking to her about child support, she changed jobs because she wanted to make sure that she wasn't ever going to have to pay anything.
Timing is everything, and the timing here looks terrible. According to the petitioner, the moment child support became a serious topic, the other parent suddenly changed jobs and started making less. That's exactly the kind of sequence that puts a judge on alert, because courts know some people try to look financially weaker on paper than they really are in practice. So the question becomes, was this a genuine life change, or a calculated move to shrink a child support order?
More than what
Okay,
she
ma'am,
would-
where do you used to work?
I was a teacher.
Okay. How much were you making as a teacher?
Oh, I think around 40,000.
Are you sure about that?
Well,
Because based on the paperwork that you provided, your teacher's salary was $55,000 a year.
well, that doesn't include what I put into profit sharing.
Is that true or not?
55?
$55,000. Your documents are correct, right?
Okay, that's probably true.
Okay, it's not a probably.
That's
You
true.
submitted it. Thank you.
Okay,
$55,000 a year. How much are you making now? Like, where are you working at now?
Once the work history comes out, the red flags start stacking up fast. A former teacher making $55,000, now earning far less in a clerk position, while also holding a master's degree in accounting? That is the kind of profile that makes a court ask not just what you earn, but what you are capable of earning. And that difference matters, because family court often looks at earning capacity when it suspects someone is intentionally playing small to avoid paying big.
Well, I'm working at a store as a clerk, and I'm making 30,000 a year now.
Okay. And you said you're a teacher, so
Yes.
what type of degrees do you have for that?
I have a degree in economics,
Okay. You have one degree or you have multiple degrees?
Well, and I have my master's in accounting.
You have a master's in accounting and you're working as a clerk.
Yes.
What are you doing at this job?
Well, I help people find clothes.
Like a retail
Industry-
clerk?
Yes.
Ma'am, you have a master's degree.
Yes.
Did-
But I don't have to make all that money.
No, you.
If I'm just going to give it all away anyway.
So let me get something straight. She's deliberately, what you're saying is she's deliberately working at this retail job. Now I get it.
I can do
You know,
any
you-
job I want.
You know what? Your character is not looking very cute to me at all because you have tried to misrepresent to me what is really going on in this case. You stopped working as a teacher so you would not have to pay that higher amount in child support. Is that not the case?
This is the confrontation point, and the judge is clearly not buying the casual attitude. Saying, I don't have to make all that money might sound like personal freedom outside the courtroom, but inside family court, that statement can sound like an open admission that the child's needs came second. That is the emotional punch of this moment. The judge is not only hearing a financial decision, she is hearing a mindset. And once a judge sees avoidance instead of sacrifice, the ruling usually tightens fast.
Well,
Well, is that not the case?
we discussed it, and she didn't seem to have an objection. And I just thought I was paying enough.
No.
And when I talked to my daughter, she loves me more anyway, and she should come live with me. And I know that's not a matter for this court.
Right, that's definitely not a matter for what we're here on today because based on what we've already discussed, the child lives with her, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you're not providing any type of financial support anymore, correct?
I provide emotional support all the time. The child.
Then comes one of the most revealing lines in the case. I provide emotional support. That may sound sincere, but the judge immediately reminds everyone of a hard truth. Emotional support does not pay rent, buy food, cover school costs, or keep the lights on. In legal terms, love and money are not interchangeable. So this moment lands hard because it exposes the gap between how one parent frames their contribution and how the court measures actual responsibility.
You know what, that is not, you cannot quantify emotional support. Stop it. I'm just gonna go on with what I need to do because you obviously came here to play games today.
No, my baby
yes,
loves me.
you did.
She loves me more
and your
than
baby
she loves
needs
her.
money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
me.
Your baby needs money, and you want to do what's in her best interest. So what I'm going to do? How long ago did she stop working as a teacher? Was it recent?
Yes.
How
just
recent?
6 months ago.
6 months ago?
Yes.
No, ma'am. Your child support is going to be set at that $55,000 because
What?
it sounds like you are intentionally underemployed, so you do not have to pay a higher amount in child support, and that is ridiculous because you're.
Here is where the ruling becomes a masterclass in how courts handle intentional underemployment. The judge decides not to use the lower current job as the basis for support. Instead, she imputes income using the higher salary, because the evidence suggests the earning drop was voluntary and strategic. That is a major legal move, and it tells every viewer something important. You cannot always lower your child support by lowering your job title. If the court believes you can earn more, it may calculate support as if you already are.
Not cheating her, you're cheating your child. So, based on $55,000 a year, I have your gross at $4,583.33. Is there a reason your mouth is open? Do you need some water?
I just can't believe you're being so mean.
Oh, I'm not being mean at all, ma'am. You, on the other hand, are being mean. You deliberately stopped working. You have a master's degree, and you went to a retail store so you would not have to pay for your daughter.
Well, that's my prerogative.
Well, you know, it is my prerogative to read these numbers out to you. Keep listening. So, I have your net at $3,794.48. Who carries health insurance for the child?
I do.
You
I do
do?
everything.
And now the consequence arrives in exact numbers: monthly child support, health insurance contribution, and a final total that reflects what the judge believes this parent should have been paying all along. The message is unmistakable. The court is not rewarding a decision to step down financially when a child still depends on you. In the end, this ruling wasn't about punishing ambition or career changes. It was about stopping a parent from using those changes as a shield. Do you think imputing the higher income was fair or too harsh? Sound off below and subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns like this.
Okay, Mr. Taylor,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Okay, so Sam and I split up a while back, but 2 months ago she moved out and left me with our darling children. I have an 11-year-old named Emma,
Okay.
and my 6-year-old boy is Braxton. And my 2 kids live with me. She's been out of the house for 2 months. I'm seeking 2 months of back child support and child support.
Okay. And why didn't you give him any money when you left? Obviously, if he's asking for 2 months worth of back pay.
This title alone grabs you, but the facts make it even more explosive. A father says the children are living with him after the mother moved out, and now he wants both current support and back support for the time he's already been carrying the load. That flips the expectation a lot of viewers walk in with. It also forces the court to answer a very direct question. When the children stay behind with one parent, does the other parent's financial duty begin the moment they leave?
So he's asking for money, but what he's not including is the fact that I'm a nurse. I work intense hours that are very irregular. So we decided it was best if the kids stay in his home since he has a more steady daily schedule. I am living with my mother when the kids have a day off of school or a weekend where I'm available or any time that they need to be taken care of. They are with me or with my mother at that time. He is saving on daycare, any care like that, and I am spending the emotional support time with.
The mother's response is emotionally understandable, but legally shaky. She points to her demanding nursing schedule, irregular hours, and the practical reasons the children stayed with him. But the judge is listening for something more specific than hardship or scheduling. She's listening for whether support was paid. That's the tension here. A parent can still love their children, still spend time with them, still believe the arrangement made sense, and yet still be failing a clear financial obligation.
Them and also providing for.
Did you really just say that? You're spending emotional support?
I don't understand what's wrong with that.
You're not paying him any money.
Spending. I am not paying him. The children are with me approximately half the time. We don't have a formal agreement on that.
Approximately, but not half the time, right?
No.
Okay. So, you should be paying child support to him.
If we want to lay down the hours and really count it out, then we can. I work usually 4 days on, 3 days off, sometimes 3 days on, 2 days off.
Okay.
My schedule is very irregular.
Which means that the children are with him most of the time. So you should be paying child support.
This is where the judge brings the law back into focus with zero confusion. The parent the children live with most of the time is treated as the custodial parent, and the other parent is expected to pay support. That statement is bigger than this case, because it clears up a misconception many people hold. Sharing emotional involvement is not the same thing as satisfying a legal duty. If the kids are rooted in one home, the support analysis usually follows that home.
They come to me and my mother's home a lot of the time.
Right. And I get it. I get it. However, the law is very straightforward. Whoever the child lives with, the children in this case, live with, majority of the time, they're going to be considered the custodial parent. And the non-custodial parent has the obligation to pay child support. That's the way that it works. You said you're a nurse. How much money do you make?
Around $80,000 a year.
Let me see. Okay, yeah, I see your check stubs here. And how much do you make?
$125,000 a year.
Okay, do you all split? Excuse me.
He's doing fine.
You are too. You make $80,000 a year. You're not doing fine?
I am doing fine.
Oh, okay. I mean, so you both are doing well. So those little comments, they're unnecessary.
Then the incomes come out, and now the stakes become real. Once the court hears what each parent actually earns, the case stops being philosophical and starts becoming financial. This is the moment where viewers usually start doing the math in their heads and asking whether the person claiming limitation truly has one. The contrast in earnings also sharpens the fairness debate. Should the parent who moved out have been contributing immediately, even if the other parent earns more overall?
$125,000 a year.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
all share custody like she's saying?
Yeah, they're over there every now and then.
Well, when you say every now and then,
Well, they live with me.
okay.
You know, they live under my roof. I pay their insurance.
Well, that's my question.
Yeah.
They're not with you a full week and then they're with her a full week and you guys are rotating and
No.
everything like that. Then yeah, that really doesn't justify you not paying child support. And yes, you should have given him child support when you left. Okay? You had the obligation to do that. When you were no longer living with the children and you left them to live with him, you owed him child support. So you are going to be paying child support starting today, and you also are going to give him back 2 months worth of back pay. Okay? So based on the documents that you turned in, I have your gross at $80,000 broken down to $6,606.
Here comes the ruling with a clean moral edge to it. The judge makes it clear that once she left the home and the children remained with him, the obligation did not become optional. It began, and because it began then, the court is not just ordering future support. It's also ordering back pay for the months already gone. That makes this moment feel especially satisfying for the custodial parent, because the judge is recognizing that unpaid time still counts.
208, okay? So you're also going to be reimbursing that to him every month, okay? And that coverage is for the children only, right?
Right.
Yeah, you are going to reimburse that to him, okay? So your child support amount is $1,240.45 plus the 208 for the health insurance, $1,448.45. And then your back pay, you're just going to pay that out monthly, adding in, I'd say about $50 a month added into that as well. So do you understand that?
Okay, is there a set time that I mean, I guess until the back pay is completed?
Yes, when
at
the
whatever
back
rate works.
Right. When the back pay is completed, that $50 will drop off. You know, you can pay the full amount. I mean, if you want to, it's about $2,480. You can pay it in one lump sum if you want to. Pay it out over like $50. $50 really doesn't cover a lot of the interest, but I mean, that's the lowest that it can go.
Oh, yeah, I'm not asking for the monthly amount to be lower. I understand that.
Okay.
We can take care of it however you decree.
Okay. So do you all have any other issues or anything needing addressing today?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
And now the numbers seal the case. Monthly support, health insurance reimbursement, and the back pay structure all come together into a concrete order that neither side can pretend is vague. This is what family court often does best. It turns messy personal arguments into enforceable financial terms. In the end, the headline is simple. If the children live with you, support can flow to you, even if people think the situation looks unusual from the outside. Was the 2 months of back support the right call here? Drop your verdict below, and stick around for more courtroom cases that completely flip expectations.
You all may be seated. Mr. Bridges, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
I found out that she has a little bit more money, and I wanted to put a little bit more for the child.
Okay. How old is the child?
12.
How did you find out she had more money?
The child told me.
What? You asked the child or the child told you?
Oh, the child told me. Came back from visiting with her and is like, Mama has more money.
This case opens with a fascinating financial twist. A father walks into court convinced that the mother has access to more money than she is admitting, and the whole dispute quickly centers on a source most people never expect to hear in child support court, a life insurance loan. Right away, this becomes bigger than a routine support complaint. It becomes a question of whether money that is not regular salary can still count when a judge is deciding what a parent should pay.
Where did he say this money came from?
He didn't tell me. He kind of only heard little bits. I think it's from the life insurance policy that she has, and only way I think of that is if she got a loan. Oh.
Ma'am.
He's lying.
Ma'am, when I get to you, you'll have your opportunity to speak, okay? So, the child said life insurance?
Yeah, they said something about like life, so I'm guessing it's a life insurance policy, and only way to really do something with that.
When did he tell you this?
Wait.
And the way the information surfaces makes it even more dramatic, through the child. That detail alone gives the moment a raw, almost uncomfortable edge, because now the court is hearing that the child noticed a sudden shift in lifestyle and brought it back home. Viewers can feel the tension instantly. If a child is the one noticing new money, new spending, or changed behavior, then the private financial choices of the parents are already spilling into the child's world.
Wait. Hold on one second, sir.
Yes,
let me let you know how this goes, okay? I do all the question asking, you address me. do not address each other. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Now, is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
I mean, the child did tell me what he believes she was using it for.
What did he say she was using it for? Because I think that matters.
Purses?
Purses?
Yes.
Purses? What kind of purse? Like the one she has?
This is the turning point where suspicion becomes fact. Once the mother admits she took out $30,000 from a life insurance policy, the case changes entirely. The issue is no longer whether the father is exaggerating. It's what the law does with that money. And emotionally, it lands hard because the amount is significant enough to make the father's frustration feel very real. If funds existed, why was child support not adjusted to reflect that reality sooner?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
so he was not lying then. You called him a liar. He's not lying about that. You took money out. How much did you take out?
$30,000.
$30,000 out of a life insurance policy to buy purses? What kind of purses are you buying?
A lot of purses.
Like what? What kind of bag is that?
It's a Michael Kors.
Okay, you know what? You obviously came here to waste my time. You did. As an interior designer, how much money are you making?
I'm not making.
That was
as
not
much as
my
what he said.
question. As an interior designer, how much money are you making?
Now the judge starts comparing the loan to her regular earnings, and that comparison is where the pressure builds. When a lump sum starts looking like a meaningful addition to a parent's financial picture, the court may stop treating it like a side detail and start treating it like available resources. That is why this moment matters so much. It's not just about where the money came from, it's about whether that money shows an increased ability to contribute to the child.
Mentiras. You're just lying.
I don't even know what you just said, so I'm not going to even entertain it. Let's talk about the monies, okay? So at $60,000, I'm going to calculate your gross for that. And I'm also going to calculate that gross for that $30,000 that you have. Where is that money housed right now?
It's in my account somewhere.
So don't play with me. In your account somewhere. In like a bank account sitting? You're not doing anything with it?
It's somewhere safe where he don't need to be touching it.
You know what? Well, he's definitely getting ready to touch it because I'm getting ready to do these numbers. The $60,000 a year, I have your gross at $4,800. Your net for that is $3,935.18. Then on that $30,000 that you have in a safe place, the gross is $2,500. I have your net, let me make sure this is right.
Here comes the courtroom math, and it is ruthless in the best legal sense. The judge breaks down salary, translates the loan into additional income equivalent value, combines the totals, and then recalculates the support amount. That process is exactly what makes the ruling so powerful. It shows viewers that a court can look beyond a paycheck and ask what financial resources are truly available. By the time the new monthly figure is announced, the message is clear. Clever financial structuring does not always protect you from support obligations.
$2,144.63. Total net of $6,079.81. Who carries health insurance for the child?
I do.
Okay, how much is health insurance?
About 120.
120, okay. Is that for you and the child or for the child only?
Child only.
Okay, child only. And I see here you did not ask for medical reimbursement. I'm just going to have you continue that coverage, okay? You continue the coverage for that. And then at a later date, we may entertain reimbursement for her, but you didn't ask for it today, okay?
Understood.
So, net $6,079.81. That bring your child support amount to $1,215.97.
I mean, ugh.
You have anything else to say? You want to tell me about some more money you have in a safe place so I can make that child support amount go up?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you don't have anything further then, I'm guessing, right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have anything further, Mr. Bridges?
No, Your Honor.
The legal takeaway here is one every parent should hear twice. In Texas, the court can consider money sources that are not traditional wages when calculating child support, especially when those funds increase a parent's actual ability to pay. So in the end, this was not just about a life insurance loan, it was about accountability hiding behind unusual financial choices. Do you think the judge was right to treat that loan like income for support purposes? Leave your take in the comments and follow for more cases where the money trail changes everything.
Is it Miss or Mrs. Cheney?
Mrs.
Mrs. Cheney.
Remarried.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
So, we were friends. We went out for drinks after a promotion, and everybody else left. It left us two, had a little too much to drink. Anyway, I ended up pregnant. He's completely out of the picture, doesn't answer text calls, whatever. All of a sudden,
This case starts with a heavy emotional backdrop. A father who was absent when the child needed him most now wants to come back into the picture, but support becomes the first serious test of that comeback. The mother is not just asking for money. She's asking whether his return comes with real responsibility. And that is what makes this hearing so compelling. Anyone can say they want to be present now, but family court wants to know what that presence actually looks like in dollars, consistency, and accountability.
Comes to me and says he wants to be a part of our kid's life. And I said, okay, well, you're going to have to give me child support. I'm not just going to let you all of a sudden be dad, you know. And
How old is the child?
He's 18 months.
Okay.
18 months, yep.
Okay, continue.
Oh, I'm sorry. So he's like, well, I can't pay child support, but I'll pay the daycare bill. Daycare is $8.55 a month. Okay. He claims he only makes $24,000 a year. That adds up to almost half his income if that's what he actually said. I mean, this is not the way a guy who...
His offer sounds practical at first. He says he cannot pay traditional child support, but he can cover daycare. On the surface, that might seem like cooperation. But legally, it raises a deeper problem. Can a parent pick the form of support that feels easiest for them, instead of following a formal child support structure? A mother clearly does not trust that arrangement, and honestly, you can see why. Direct expense payments can help, but they can also become a way to dodge a broader obligation.
Lives a life of $24,000. I mean, that suit probably costs like, I don't know, half that or something.
It is a nice suit.
I shop clearance.
Okay.
I do pretty well on sales.
He shops on clearance.
Okay. I've never seen that suit at JCPenney, but all right.
Okay. So $855 a month in daycare. You say you make $24,000 a year.
$24,000 a year, that is
And
correct.
I do have his tax returns that he produced showing $24,000 a year, but you're self-employed?
That is correct.
So you did your own tax return?
I do, yes.
So is it accurate, or did you manipulate it?
If you're questioning if I'm being honest in my tax returns,
Yes.
I am being honest in my tax returns, Your Honor.
Okay, okay. And I can only go based off of what he produces. I can only go based off of what he produces. Living wise, do you live with someone?
I'm in an apartment sharing situation right now with the money I make every month, and with basically close to half of my salary going to pay for daycare for our child. I've got to share. I can't afford my own place on my own.
Okay, okay.
Now the judge starts looking at the paper trail, and this is where the case gets interesting. Reported income, tax returns, self-employment, shared housing. All of it matters because the court is trying to figure out not just what he says he can afford, but what the documents suggest he can really handle. That tension is crucial. When a parent claims financial limits but is willing to cover a very large child care bill, the court naturally starts asking whether the story is fully adding up.
Point is that it seems kind of sketchy that he can afford almost $900 a month in daycare, but won't pay child support. I feel like there's something going on with the money situation. There's got to be a reason why he's doing things the way he does.
So you want him to pay $855 in daycare and child support?
I mean, he wants to be a part of his life.
That wasn't my question.
Okay.
Do you want him to pay $855 in daycare as well as pay child support on top of that?
I want us to be able to talk and discuss and find a number that works for both of us and that I think is fair.
Okay.
This is one of the sharpest moments in the case because the logic starts to wobble in public. If he can afford nearly $900 a month for daycare, why is formal child support suddenly impossible? That contradiction is exactly the kind of thing judges notice. It doesn't automatically mean dishonesty, but it does mean the arrangement deserves deeper scrutiny. For viewers, this is the point where the case shifts from unusual to suspicious, and the fairness question gets louder.
Just because I make more money than him doesn't mean I should be covering all of the child's expenses. $855 is daycare.
I definitely agree with that. I agree with that. So what is the middle ground that you're looking for? Because legally, he cannot pay daycare and child support. I mean, you can't have it both ways. So what would be a middle ground for you?
I guess we'd have to kind of discuss what would be what would be child support versus daycare and how the parental responsibilities would change. Would he get them on weekends? Would he get them on holidays? Things like that. So,
Well,
because he doesn't live real close either, you know.
Well, we're here today, so let's discuss it. Like I said, he cannot pay daycare on top of child support.
The judge then does something smart. Instead of rushing straight into punishment, she explores what each side is actually seeking. Does the mother want daycare covered, child support, or both? Is there a number that reflects the child's real needs without unfairly overloading either side? That matters because courtroom drama is one thing, but family court often has to build a workable structure people can realistically follow. This moment slows the chaos down and turns the hearing toward a solution.
So if you were to give him a number that's in between the 24,000 that, I mean, because when you break that down based on child support for one child, it's not a lot of money. So if you were, let's say it's about $300 in child support. If you add that to $855, you're talking about child support in excess of $1,000. Are you asking that he pay $1,000 in child support?
I guess not exactly. I don't.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out why you're here and what you're asking me to do.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out what to do with the situation with him. I don't have a law degree. I don't have a lawyer. I don't know exactly how these things work.
Okay. And I'm helping you guys as much as I can.
Yeah, so I didn't know that you couldn't do daycare and child support. And I don't know what, I've never had child support before. I have no idea. I don't know, what you can do, what you can't do, what happens with visitation and stuff like that. He was absent the entire first year, completely absent. So I paid 100% of everything. He was in the hospital after he was born. I took care of those bills.
And you didn't give her any money?
Not at that point, Your Honor, no.
What was the reason for that?
I was effectively in the same situation I am now. Again, being self-employed, my income has not gone up. There was a little bit of a disconnect.
The emotional history resurfaces. The mother reminds the court that she carried everything alone during the first year, while he admits he probably should have stepped up sooner. And that admission lands hard because it's late, but not meaningless. You can feel the case balancing between past failure and present effort. The judge is clearly not there to relive every wound forever, but she also cannot pretend that the long absence didn't shape how support should be viewed now. Passive 4.
Between the two of us, I probably, looking back, should have stepped in sooner, and that's all I'm trying to do now.
Okay.
I want to have a relationship with our son. The amount I'm paying on a monthly basis is already, again, 45% or so
it's a lot.
Of my income. I don't know the percentages, et cetera, what I'm required to do. I feel I'm already stepping up, and by paying the full daycare, as far as I know, and I've talked to some friends, I'm paying more than I actually have to.
He actually is. Because if we were to break down, based on what it is that he makes, if we were to break down, and you only have one child?
Yeah.
Okay, if we were to break down
that he knows of. Let's just go ahead and put that.
What was that? How will you know?
Well, he knocked me up and left for a year. So, there might be some other women out there.
Wait a minute, in fairness.
That may not be able to count how many partners they've been with, but I know it was his kid.
In fairness, he wasn't alone in knocking you up.
I get that. And I took 100% responsibility for that child for a full 12 months. Okay.
Let's not blame it all on him. You have one child, correct? Correct. Okay, so let's stick to what is in front of us. We're not worried about any other children that may be out there. So based on the financial documents that he provided at 20%, his child support should only be
Here the judge anchors the case in hard numbers. Based on the financial records, the guideline support amount is much lower than the daycare amount he has been discussing, and that creates the central legal dilemma. Guidelines give the court a baseline, but real child expenses can justify something different. That's why this moment matters so much. It shows the audience the gap between the standard formula and the practical cost of raising this particular child in this particular situation.
Insurance is paid through you?
Yes.
How much do you pay?
It's like $130 or something a month. It comes right out of my check, so I'm not sure the exact amount of it.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I'm looking
130,
at
133, something like that.
I'm looking at what you also turned in. It looks like it's about $113.
13, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do to make it fair, because he is paying about 3 times the amount that his child support should be.
Yeah, well, his bar bills are about the price of that too, so.
Well, so are yours, but as I was saying, his child support is going to be set at what the daycare amount is. That's the fairest way to do it. At least we know that by you paying daycare, the child's daycare expense is covered each month. So that's something you do not have to worry about. And you will have to reimburse her for the health insurance that she has on the child. So when you add the $855 plus the $113, it comes out to $968 a month in child support. So $968 would be all that he pays. And out of that, that would include whatever, if you change daycares, let me just make sure I'm very clear on this. If you change daycares and the amount goes up to $1,000, all he's responsible for is the $855 for the daycare. That's it. That's all you're responsible for. But the health insurance, if you have health insurance available through your job, you can enroll the child under health insurance and remove that $113 additional charge, and you'll be only responsible for $855.
And now the ruling takes shape in a way that's both practical and surprising. Instead of simply locking into the lower guideline figure, the judge effectively ties the order to the daycare amount plus insurance, making sure the child's real needs remain covered. That's a serious deviation, and it tells us the court is looking beyond bare formulas. In plain terms, the judge is saying, if you were already willing to carry this expense, then that expense can become part of the enforceable support structure.
To make sure I understand, so I'm already paying $855 a month as compared to the $349 that you calculated I should be responsible for. So now we're saying, well, instead of basing it off of $349, potentially lowering it, or at least the two of us coming to some sort of agreement and saying, you know, I'm already paying 45% of my salary. I've got to pay now $968 a month, which is, again, more than double what I'm supposed to be paying in child support.
You've been paying, although it's 3 times the amount, you've been comfortably paying this. This isn't something that she necessarily, well, when I say comfortably, I don't know your financial situation, but you've been paying it for some time.
With roommates and
right.
TV
and I
dinners.
understand, but under Texas law, we can deviate from what the guideline support should be if we find good reason to do it. And daycare expenses, they are considered one of those reasons. Now, if you two, while you're here, you want to agree to a lesser amount, if you want to meet in the middle and say, let's say you decide to do $700, let's say you decide to say $750, that's what you can do. But based on what you all have been telling me, you've been paying daycare, it's $855. That would be in the best interest of the child to at least make sure that the daycare expense is covered.
Understood.
So, like I said, if you guys decide to come with something different, you can come back and modify that, and I'd be happy to enter in the number that you all come up with. Is there anything further today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Anything further?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, there's nothing further. You all are dismissed.
This final stretch is where the legal lesson becomes unmistakable. Yes, the guideline number matters, but under Texas law, the judge can deviate when there's a solid reason, and daycare is one of those reasons. So the father may feel blindsided by a higher effective obligation, but the court is focused on the child's actual life, not just the lowest permissible figure on paper. In the end, this ruling says returning to your child's life means more than showing up emotionally. It means sustaining what that child truly costs. Was the judge fair to go above the guideline amount here? Tell me what you think below, and keep watching for more powerful family court breakdowns.
11 months.
11 months, yes. And she chose to pursue her career.
Wait a minute, I got hung up. You said 11 months
11
and he's
months.
10 years old
And
now?
he's 10 years old now. She chose her career over being a parent, although she wanted to be a parent, and left me with the child. It's been hard. I do what I can do.
This case hits hard immediately. A father says the mother left when the child was still a baby, and now the child is 10 years old. That timeline alone tells you everything about the emotional weight in this room. We are not talking about a short lapse or a recent conflict. We are talking about a decade of one parent carrying the day-to-day burden. The moment that timeline lands, viewers already know this hearing is about more than monthly support. It's about years of imbalance.
Care of our son. She's still chasing her dreams.
nothing wrong with that, but she did decide to have a child, and I just want to know what happened, some kind of financial compensation if she's chasing her dreams and making all the money she wants to make. Maybe she can just throw some money our way, and that'll be fine.
That would be fine, and I agree with that,
Yeah.
ma'am. Is there a reason that you have not paid this man child support? He's been having your son for 10 years.
The father frames it in painfully human terms. She chased a career while he stayed behind to raise their son. Whether people agree with that wording or not, the resentment is unmistakable. But beneath the emotion is a real legal point. Personal ambition does not erase parental duty. That's what makes this opening so strong. He is not asking the court to judge her dreams. He is asking the court to acknowledge that those dreams unfolded while he handled the responsibilities alone.
Years.
He said throw some money their way. What that mean? Throw some money their way?
Would you clarify for her
Well,
what
if
you
she
mean by
doesn't
that,
want
sir?
to be in his life and be around and be a mother, and I have to be the father and the mother, then maybe I should be compensated for being the father and the mother.
You mean by her paying child support?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Child
That's all he
support.
looks for is money.
Well, he would like to play
it
baseball.
takes more than air to raise a child, ma'am. You have to pay something. What else do you want him to receive to be able to raise this child?
Once the judge asks why no support has been paid, the case becomes brutally simple. If one parent has had the child for 10 years, then the court expects a meaningful explanation for the lack of financial contribution. And when the father says he should be compensated for acting as both father and mother, it lands as more than rhetoric. It reflects the exhaustion of someone who feels the legal system is only now catching up to a reality he has lived for years.
I'm listening.
And our child has dreams.
He needs to get a job and stop trying to depend on
no,
me.
what you need to do is listen to what I'm saying and answer my question and not worry about what he has going on. Everything is about you right now.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. We'll get to the money part in just a minute in terms of calculations because this child has been with him for a long time, and to go without any sort of financial assistance and
This is the judge bringing the hearing back to common sense. Raising a child costs money, period. Not vibes, not occasional gestures, not empty statements about what somebody intended to do. Actual money. Food, clothes, school needs, transportation, activities, medical care. That reminder may sound obvious, but it matters because support cases often get buried under blame. The judge is cutting through all of that and saying, whatever happened between you two, the child still had real expenses all along.
based on what you've turned in, you've made money and you have not given anything to him for your child, it's absurd.
I've been throwing money his way, and I don't know what he been doing with it, because I make over $85,000 a year.
Excuse me?
Over $85,000 a year.
You make over $85,000
Over
a year.
$85,000
She hasn't
a
given
year,
you
and
any
I've
money,
been-
sir?
Not too much, and really,
Not too-
the thing is,
This dude is lying.
The thing is-
Excuse me, I can't listen to both of y'all at the same time. I have 2 ears, but I only can listen to one person
well,
at
the
a
thing
time.
is, well, she's all free pursuing her career. I have to watch the child.
Wait a
And
minute, what kind of, ma'am,
Well,
please.
it's hard to find a job and take care of a kid.
What kind of career does she have?
She's an esthetician.
Okay.
Eyelashes.
And the income comes out, and the silence around non-payment becomes harder to defend. Once the court hears that the mother makes strong money and has still contributed little or nothing, the fairness problem gets much sharper. This is where viewers start shifting from sympathy to accountability. It is one thing to struggle financially. It is another thing to earn well and leave the other parent carrying the full load anyway. That difference can completely change the moral temperature of a case.
Taking care of people's eyelashes.
Okay.
She makes pretty good money at it, actually. She's good at her job.
And
I
she
would
worked
give her
hard
that.
for it too.
However,
Ma'am.
diapers and...
Excuse me, sir. All this extra and this attitude, I'm the only person that can have an attitude in here, okay? Yes, it's right. So I'm gonna need you to tone it down a little bit, okay? Thanks. Go ahead, sir.
And our 10-year-old is a growing boy, and he has a lot of things he'd like to do, and it's very hard for me. I don't want to get any government assistance. I would like to do it as best as I can on my own. However, I can't go back to school and take care of our son and have a job and run a business is very hard. And
I imagine so.
It is.
I imagine so.
What type of expenses does your son have him?
He has normal childhood expenses, food.
Is he involved in extracurricular?
The father's explanation of his own limits adds real emotional depth here. He isn't painting himself as perfect, he's painting himself as stretched thin. He wants to support the child without public assistance, but he also wants the chance to build something for himself without dropping his son in the process. That is why this case feels bigger than a paycheck dispute. It's about what long-term solo parenting can cost a person in time, education, opportunity, and emotional energy.
Yes, he likes to read. He likes games. I like to keep him with electronics and things to, spark his interest.
What type of extracurricular activities?
He likes go-karts, motorcycles. He likes race cars, train sets, video games. He likes going out to the park, going to the lake, and all that.
Ma'am, do you hear all of that? All of that costs money.
It sure does, and like he said, I've been throwing money their way.
Every now and then, it hasn't been consistent.
It's not very consistent.
And it clearly cannot be consistent. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a reason to be here.
Does he have a job? Can you ask him that question?
Ma'am, you know what? He's taking care of the child.
Doing what though?
The person, the child.
This moment may seem small, but it's one of the most effective in the hearing. When the father starts listing the child's hobbies, interests, and ordinary wants, the case stops being abstract. Now we are picturing a real child with a real life, not just a file number. That matters because support isn't only about survival. It's also about giving a child room to grow, explore, and enjoy a normal childhood. Those details make the coming financial order feel justified, not mechanical.
After I finish with these calculations. Okay, so who carries health insurance?
Obviously not him.
Do you carry it? Do you carry health insurance for the child?
Ask him.
Do you carry health insurance for
all the information?
Ma'am.
Well, see, that's the problem. I have a hard time communicating with her. Communication.
I'm having a hard time communicating with her, so I can't even imagine what you have to deal with and talking to her about the child.
And he just wants to know where his mother is and why she doesn't want to be part of our lives and why she doesn't want to come around, why she wasn't be involved in any of his after-school activities.
That is a legitimate concern. That is a legitimate concern.
Know where his mother is.
Who pays health insurance for the child?
Well, the health insurance, it's kind of hard right now.
So he doesn't have any health insurance coverage right now?
He has no health insurance.
Then comes a detail that raises the urgency even higher. The child does not currently have health insurance. That changes the tone instantly, because now the court is not only measuring past neglect, but also confronting a present vulnerability. Health coverage is not optional when a child is involved. So when the judge says that problem is going to be fixed, it feels like one of the most immediate and meaningful forms of relief in the whole hearing.
$83.33. And right now the child isn't covered on any sort of health insurance coverage, so you're also going to be responsible for obtaining health insurance for the child, okay? And I'm going to order you do that within 30 days. That's what you're going to have to do. I have your net resources at $5,138.10. So your child support obligation monthly, and giving you credit, how many other children did you say?
I have 4.
4, okay. So giving you credit for your other children, your child support obligation comes out to $698.78. And I'm also going to order you pay back support to this man. He requested in his paperwork that you pay back support to him. It's known as retroactive child support. In Texas, it can go back the last 4 years. So in calculating what your monthly child support obligation should be for the past 4 years, child support back pay is $33,541.44. And I'm going to have you repay that monthly at $1,000. So your total monthly obligation is $1,698.78 for a child support obligation. Any questions about that?
As long as he get a job and stop living off of me.
You know what, ma'am? He can't be living off of you if you haven't given him anything consistently.
That's according to him.
Okay, well, you haven't provided me with anything different.
And this is why the title fits so perfectly. The big payback arrives in numbers that carry real weight. The judge uses income records, gives credit for other children where required, calculates ongoing support, orders retroactive support for prior years, and lands on a total monthly obligation that reflects both present duty and past absence. It is a ruling with teeth, and it sends a clear message: if you leave one parent to do the work for years, the financial consequences can catch up to you in a big way. Did the judge strike the right balance between justice and repayment here? Let me know in the comments, and stay with us for more courtroom stories that make every dollar tell a bigger story.
You all may be seated. Okay. Is it Mrs. Hollins?
Miss.
Miss Hollins. Miss Hollins, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, ma'am. My sister-in-law, I've had her child for 7 years, and
7 years?
Yes. She was incarcerated for about 3 of those years,
Okay.
along with my brother, the daddy of the child. And she's turned her life around, and she's working, but I'm not receiving any child support, and I'm not asking for 7 years worth of child support. But Stevie is 9 years old, and she needs dresses and stuff.
This case opens with a fact pattern that instantly changes the emotional stakes. The child has been living with an aunt for years while the biological pair has been in and out of serious trouble. That means the person carrying the burden is not even one of the child's parents, which makes the request for support feel especially urgent. Right away, the court is dealing with a bigger question than ordinary custody conflict. What happens when a relative becomes the child's real safety net?
She's at that age that she needs more things and stuff.
Okay.
And I need help. You know, I'm a vice principal, and I make okay, but I do need the help.
I definitely believe you need help as well. Ma'am?
Well, I think we all need help in this world. I mean, truthfully.
Okay.
But, you know.
Well, everybody in this world is not Stevie's mom, okay? So let's talk about Stevie.
So
What is your plan in terms of financial support? Did you have any plans to give any financial support?
Well, first off, I have 3 daughters, including Stevie, and
Okay,
yes, Stevie
congratulations.
Well, okay, but Stevie is my pride and my joy, and I understand that she wants her dresses, and she wants her nails painted, and she wants her hair made. But
The aunt's request is not flashy, but it is powerful. She says she needs help. And when someone who has already stepped up for years says that in court, it lands differently. This is not somebody trying to profit from a child. This is somebody saying the child's needs keep growing, and love alone does not cover them. The judge's response also sharpens the issue beautifully. Whatever help everyone in the world may need, the legal focus here is on this child and this parent.
there's just certain things you just can't get in life. You can't get everything that you want. Well, you shouldn't get everything that you want.
Food, clothes.
Yeah, the necessities,
I feed
ma'am.
her
What do
every
you,
now and then.
ma'am, excuse me. I need you to address me.
Sorry.
You do not need to address her. Okay?
Okay.
So you do understand why you're here today, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me why you're here.
I'm here because she wants more money.
She wants more money or she wants some money? Because it's
She's
my
greedy,
understanding
and she
you...
wants more.
No, ma'am. It's not greed to take care of your child. You understand it, right?
Yes.
Okay. And your brother, you said, is incarcerated.
Yes, ma'am.
So she's not able to get any money from him, so...
And she's
winner,
the
winner,
reason
chicken
he's
dinner.
in jail.
Oh, she's the reason. Okay. Well,
That's
you know...
not true.
Yes,
Ma'am.
Bonnie and Clyde.
The biological mother's posture here is defensive from the start, almost as if the problem is that someone is asking for money rather than asking why the money was never being paid. That distinction matters. Informal family arrangements can keep a child safe, but they do not erase parental duty. So the tension in this moment comes from a clash of perspectives. The aunt sees years of responsibility, while the mother seems to frame it like a personal inconvenience now that the bill is being presented.
Oh, Bunny and Clyde, you know, I don't even want to get into that because those names do not have anything
Well, I can think
good
of another name
attached to
against
them.
me, but it's not Bonnie.
Ma'am, listen.
Yes, ma'am.
You're here today because you're going to pay her some child support. I do not care about your Bunny and Clyde rendezvous you had beforehand, okay? We're here today for the support of Stevie, all right? So I have it here that you are a you work in the Derby? Would you explain that to me? What did you do?
I am a roller derby queen.
Okay, so let's talk about that queen. What throne do you sit on?
When the discussion drifts toward the incarcerated father and side drama, the judge quickly shuts it down, and rightly so. Family court often becomes crowded with backstory, blame, and colorful explanations, but none of that changes the immediate legal question in front of the bench. This moment shows judicial discipline. The court is not here to be entertained by chaos. It is here to determine who owes support to the child today. That refocus gives the hearing structure and force.
So it's this amazing sport. Everybody should be able to do it at least one time in their life.
Okay.
And
you're paid money to do it, correct?
Well, yes.
Okay. How much are you paid to do this?
Well, you know, about $48,000 a year.
Okay. And $48,000 a year
Right.
as a roller derby queen.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have not been paying child support for your child.
Well, she has Stevie, and I have my other 2 kids.
So that makes a difference? It doesn't change your obligation?
School, she'd be in detention.
That does not change your obligation to Stevie.
Then comes one of the more memorable details in the case, the mother's unusual job and her disclosed income. The courtroom might briefly smile at the occupation, but the judge does not let the novelty distract from the point. Income is income, and if a parent is earning, the child's right to support does not disappear because the paycheck comes from an unconventional path. That is what makes this moment important. It strips away the spectacle and puts responsibility right back where it belongs.
$4,000, which your net is $3,349.88. Okay?
Can you round that down to like 69 cents?
Can you get a job that pays less? Because it's based on a calculation. I don't have anything to do with that.
Oh.
You make $48,000 a year, your net is based on that $4,000 amount gross after taking out taxes. You understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who covers health insurance?
I do.
Okay, how much is health insurance?
$120 a month.
Is that for the child only, or is that including?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have you reimburse that to her, okay? Yes, ma'am, you looking really confused right now, and I have no idea why you are, because as a part of your child support obligation, you have to cover health insurance.
Health insurance turns out to be another critical piece of this hearing. Bound confirms she is the one carrying that burden too. The support claim becomes even stronger. Medical coverage is one of those hidden expenses that people overlook until a judge says it out loud, and then suddenly everyone realizes how much the caregiver has actually been absorbing alone. This is where the court makes clear that support is not just about a flat monthly check. It is about the full cost of protecting the child.
Required, okay? So when I add that to your child support obligation, your obligation before the reimbursement was $586.23. You add $120, that brings your child support obligation to $706.23.
Kick in the bucket, that's a lot.
Well, and I gave you, guess what? I gave you credit for the other children that you have as well. Okay, so $706.23. Any questions?
Do you accept Monopoly money?
You know, no, she does not accept Monopoly money. You cannot deposit it into an actual bank.
Yes, Judge. Is there any way I can keep her
Yes,
from...
you're accepting Monopoly money?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, yes, Judge, is there any way she can keep her away from Stevie? You see this kind of person she is? You know, I don't think that's a good influence for Stevie.
Well, you know, that's not a matter before me. That's not something that I necessarily deal with.
Stevie is my baby.
Okay. Ma'am, please don't address her. Please do not address her. That's a different matter. That has nothing to do with this court.
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
just here
Thank you.
specifically for the money. Ma'am, I'm not gonna touch that situation at all, okay? Anything concerning your daughter and keeping her away from you, that has nothing to do with me, okay? Okay? If nothing further, you all are...
And finally, the ruling puts a number on years of imbalance. The judge combines the base support obligation with insurance reimbursement and arrives at a monthly total that reflects both the mother's income and the aunt's long-standing role in caring for the child. In the end, this case is a reminder that stepping in for a child out of love should not mean carrying every financial burden forever by yourself. Do you think the court gave the aunt the support she deserved, or should the order have been even stronger? Share your thoughts below and stay tuned for more real family court cases with surprising twists.